Wu-Tang.
Yeah, I like this one too. Drew McIntyre versus Kevin Owens.
So convenient. I come out here and then you say my name. That's real cute. You know, there's something about you, Drew, I never got. I don't understand why, as big and good and strong as you are, you still feel the need to come out here and pretend to be something you're not. Yeah, you know, because you come out here and you talk with that big, loud, almost comical, tough guy voice. Sometimes you wear a kilt, sometimes you have a sword. You think this is medieval times? But now you just proved to me and everybody in that locker room that you're delusional, because if you think you've been carrying anybody else's weight around here, you're a real dumbass. I think you don't know who the hell you are. But me, I've been the same person my entire 22-year career. I have known exactly what I am and who I am. I am Kevin Owens, and I am as real as it gets in this business. But it seems the past few years, some people like you, may have forgotten what it is I'm about. And look, that's my fault, right? Because for the last couple of years, I've been having a good time coming to work and having fun. But then something dawned on me earlier today when I got to this arena. I actually got goosebumps because I realized that this is the very same arena where at Battleground, Sami Zayn and I had the fight of our lives and left everything we had in that ring. We gave people a match they still talk about 6 years later. And then I realized, you know what? There's a side of me that's been missing for far too long, and I miss that side. I miss the old Kevin Owens. I think it's time to bring back the Kevin Owens that people called the prize fighter. And Drew, I haven't held a title in WWE for 5 long years. But enough is enough, and it's time for a change. So now, I am coming after everything. Every single champion is a target. The US champion, the Intercontinental champion, the tag team champions. And Drew, I don't give a damn if it's you or Roman Reigns. Whichever one of you walks out of Cardiff champion has got a hell of a problem. Because I'm coming after the biggest prize of them all, and that's the undisputed WWE Universal title.
Okay. I'll let you say your piece. And quite frankly, Drew McIntyre's going to have to respond. I'm sick of people making stuff up just to get a cheap reaction. Saying things like Drew McIntyre not carrying the load, not knowing who he is. I know exactly who the hell I am. Someone recently called me the Chosen One. I was the Chosen One 15 years ago. Then I got fired. Then I had to work my ass off, earn my way back to this company. I didn't call WWE. They called me, and I've worked my ass off every day since. I'm a 2-time champion. I beat Brock Lesnar, Goldberg, Randy Orton, everyone that stood in my path. Don't you dare look me in the eye and pull that BS again. Now I think it's time for Owens and McIntyre to stop talking. I don't care if you're a prize fighter, a sports entertainer, a superstar. We're wrestlers in a wrestling ring. Let's just freaking wrestle.
How you doing? This is the Corn Man, Corn Boy. You are listening to Sit Down Marks with DP, Primo, and EJ.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following Sit Down Marks podcast is set for one fall.
introduce first your heel host that is always helping to spread the good word of wrestling, Dirty Bird. Next up, the co-host from the land of the rattlesnake, Mr. Team Extreme, editor and producer, Primo. And finally, your co-host, straight out of your mama's kitchen, driver of the grip wagon, straight off a cliff, assistant editor and producer, AJ.
What's happening, people? Pod number 77 of the Sit Down Mars podcast, the best kept secret in wrestling podcast. What's going on, everybody? Thank you there, TW Ward, as usual, for bringing us in. He is the voice of Memphis wrestling. Check him out over there. Welcome, everybody. Let me welcome you, first of all, to introduce you to my co-host. How about the two-time Kurt Angle trophy and champion, and last man standing master, AJ. What's going on, brother?
Kurt's very happy. Hi, good to be back. I missed you guys. I did.
Yep, we had a special Dreamwave episode last week, so we're all back together here now, ready to get fired up and talk about some wrestling. And also the three-time Kurt Angle champion, the current king of the mountain, Lucha Daddy. We know him as Primo. What's going on, pal?
Yeah, Lucha Daddy is still on vacation. He hadn't quite come back yet, but Primo is here this week. Episode 77, back on the road to 100. And we are going to get there in 23 short episodes. It's going to come before we know it, guys.
Absolutely, it is. All right, let's get rolling. But first of all, I want to thank the sponsors and everybody listening on all the podcast platforms out there, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Google, and all the others, and all obviously SportsWire Online Radio on Fridays, right before the Thomas Bryce Show, and throughout the week. We can always catch us on SportsWire Radio. Also, we want to thank Jet Designs. That's J-E-T Designs, sponsoring the pod today. If you got a custom diecast need, if you need a one made for your buddy, your racing friend, Christmas is going to be here before long, man. Now's the time. Contact Jet Designs on Facebook to get that custom diecast made. And, if you got an idea, a creation in mind, contact them and they can put that idea to work for you, and and can make a really cool gift for that racing fan in your life, and they would be very happy too. So check out Jet Designs, and we appreciate them sponsoring the pod. All right, let's get rolling here. Also, I want to ask everybody to, if you check out the pod, we still love for everybody that's leaving those reviews. Keep doing that. We need them, whether they're bad, good, or anything. If you just want to say something, on there, let us know. We definitely do appreciate it.
If you want to say hi, we'll say hi back.
Kurt wants everyone to say hi to him in his home that he's missed so much.
Kurt has officially made it back to the Midwest. He is now back residing at AJ's house.
At his temporary residence in Illinois.
Right, as we all get to have him from time to time. So he's looking pretty warm. He's already looking like a parrot on AJ's shoulder at the moment. So
I wish my shoulders weren't so bony, because then I could balance him. I need to get some meatier shoulders.
Wow.
There we go.
There you go. See? He's looking at home there.
Now I can't move.
All right, Primo, let's see what the old Pop of the Pod has got for us today in the old Jukety box, man.
Jukety box, oh wise one.
Let's see.
Weird.
This was one of those that worn on me. I didn't really like it at first, but it fit and worn on me as Dean Ambrose, at the time. So were you guys a fan of this entrance music?
Oh yeah, I loved it.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
And I totally forgot that it existed until this very moment. So that was nice little nostalgia right there. That was
I was a big, his and Seth's previous one, those were like at that time my two favorite ones.
Another thing that reminds me about this entrance song is this was around the time when WWE had just got that big platform stage where they walked out and the graphics could be under their feet the whole time.
Right.
And Dean had that cool spiral thing that was just constantly turning, and it always like looked kind of creepy too, but it fit with the song too. But yeah, so
they love their
how about
LED
that?
screens.
Old John Moxley, aka
Dean Ambrose.
Oh, Mox Johnley.
My brother is currently reading Dean's book.
Very good.
Moxley's book.
So yeah, I haven't finished listening to it. I own it. I mean, I have read it, but I just get sidetracked. I have ADD. Everyone, I get sidetracked.
Something shiny.
But it's the point that the fact of the matter is, I own it on audio and physical version. I have read the book. Listening to it is a whole other experience. I just haven't had time to get back to it.
I got some wrestling road trips coming up here. I'm gonna have to get that before I hit a couple of them, so I could take up some time on the road. So, Primo, what you got for us, man? What's going on in the headlines?
Well, let me tell you, I got a few headlines here. Nothing too major, but
a little quiet.
Statlander went ahead and told us that. Let me back up.
Find your notes.
I see him. I just didn't start this off right. This is Wrestling in the Headlines, August 17th edition for all you marks out there.
There it is.
Chris Statlander announced Statlander announced that via Twitter that she'll be out with injury for 6 to 8 months.
Did she re-injure the knee? That
Yeah.
Oh man, it sucks. I think it was the ACL before, wasn't it?
I'm not sure. I think it was also a leg thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's tough.
MLW will be returning to Philadelphia for Fightland 22 in October.
Nice. Do we ever know why they didn't run Chicago? They scheduled Chicago and then just canceled.
Decided against it for some reason.
You don't cancel on Chicago. Come on.
Yeah.
Man.
What are you doing? Do you want them to turn on you?
They're gonna cancel on you too, Philly.
Yeah.
Maybe another
just so you know.
Maybe Chicago's too big for their britches. It charges too much.
Too big for their britches?
I don't know. They
Get
were
bigger britches.
They were running Cicero Stadium. That's what Impact just ran for Emergence. By the way, our boy Hartenbauer, he was on Emergence. Did you guys see that?
Hell, fucking
he was.
Yes, he was.
He was a security guard for the Moose Mccallahan. Yeah.
For the breakout?
Yeah. Sporting his shirt today because obviously he's my pick to win the Dreamwave Championship on Saturday. We're going to be talking about it shortly.
Mine is Ric Flair, clearly. And Wu-Tang Clan, apparently.
It's Wu-Tang.
My shirt is Kenny Omega, the Cleaner.
When's he coming back?
Tonight.
Yeah, tonight.
That's why I'm wearing this shirt.
They kind of spoiled that a little bit, which would have been better.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Yeah. Anyway, back to the headlines. There have been reports that various WWE talents are in the belief that there will be another draft happening soon.
Wow, who cares?
Which will be kind of good, actually, because, well, first of all, the draft hasn't really meant shit in the past couple of years because they've been crossing back and forth no matter what.
Sure.
But also, they put all the stars on Raw. Yeah, Raw this time, and they left almost no one on SmackDown.
Which is weird because SmackDown is the
premiere show.
Yeah, the not cable but network show. There we go.
Network show. Yeah. Interesting.
Next up, if you're in, this is my own writing. If you're into this sort of thing, the Toronto Maple Leafs, that's a professional hockey team.
Yeah.
They have co-branded a shirt with Edge that will be exclusively sold at the arena next Monday night in Toronto.
Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah, exactly. If you're into that sort of thing.
Yeah, if you're into that sort of thing.
Yeah.
The shirt actually does look pretty cool, but I don't watch hockey very much. I moved to DC area. I'm trying to be a Caps fan, but
yeah, we didn't have it where I grew up.
Exactly. So. Growing up, we had the Stars in Texas, but nobody actually cares about hockey in Texas.
Sure.
No.
So, yeah. Next up, and finally, last headline of the night, unless you boys have another one. WWE announced a record for first day ticket sales for WrestleMania 39, selling over 90,000 tickets in the first 24 hours.
I don't believe that at all. I really don't. Like
for Mania in Hollywood.
Mania in Hollywood, everybody, you know, it's the Triple H era, the speculation about The Rock.
Sure.
Yeah, I just don't believe it.
So,
Because
the numbers are probably public record if you want to go look them up. So,
I mean, 90,000 isn't. Oh, I mean, it's
that doesn't fill the state. That's a 2-day sale.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a single day record over a 2-day span.
Right.
Yeah, but with how many times WWE likes to inflate every single number that they ever come across, I don't believe it.
Maybe in the Triple H era they don't inflate.
This is true. Maybe they don't.
Doing things differently. This Trips era.
That's right. You got 3 H's in charge. So
Try.
that is it for today's Wrestling in the Headlines, August 17th.
Got Try in charge. Try.
All right. If there's any fans out there who'd like for us to give them a shout out, let us know when and where you listen to the podcast. DM us on Twitter at SitDownMarks and let us know when and where you listen to the podcast, like I just said, and we'll shout you out. All right. I'm excited. Let's see what old AJ has for us today in his beautiful segment. This is fun to me.
Well, this should be annoying. AJ's Comic Books of the Week.
I'm already annoyed. Sure.
Well, I recently purchased some comic books. Guess by who?
Nerd. What? The Ultimate Warrior. Oh.
We have got issues 1 and 2 of Warrior Comics. This is a 5-issue set. I can't be bothered to get the other 3 because my God, are these garbage.
I've heard about these.
So the Ultimate Warrior is already a self-indulgent, like overhyped piece of crap. And now condense that into comic book form and you have what these are. So it all talks about, he makes up his own words in it, like distrucity. Do you guys know what distrucity means? Well, let me tell you.
Is that in Webster?
No, it's his own word. Distrucity. Trifold in its definition, therefore meaning the name of the galaxy in Warrior wherein the terrain of testament lies. 2, the living of one's life in the way of a warrior according to a warrior's 8 disciplines. Then it lists all the 8 disciplines.
I feel like those are 2 different definitions.
3. The creating of a truce between one's destiny and one's reality, promising to stay true to I'm so fucking bored.
Oh my God. Yes.
Here's a
the
question.
whole thing is like that. Like, it's awful.
And not to be a dickhead, but are they worth more or did they cost more since he's no longer living?
They cost more because no one bought them when they came out.
Right.
Like, if I were to buy all 5 of these, which, by the way, the 5th one is a Christmas comic book.
Oh,
that's what they are. So, I bought these. Like, I was going to buy the full set, but it was like $240. I was like, no, I don't think I'm going to do that.
Yeah, no.
So, I got 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And I kind of want to send them to you guys so you can read them. They're the most, like, at one point he talks to his tassels, like his arm tassels. And they talk back about distrucity and getting folked. That's folked, by the way, Focked. It means being focused as a warrior.
Same thing as being like fucked and yoked.
Like Fockard.
It doesn't say anything about nosedives, which is kind of sad if you think about it.
Yeah.
No planes, no Hogan. They're terrible. These are absolutely terrible. He is so self-indulgent and condescending, and everything is different dimensions and terrain of testament, and it is awful. It's like if you take one of Warrior's like WCW promos and extended it into comic book form. It is awful. I hate that I own these 2 things, and I want them out of my life. Do not read these. Don't find them.
I remember when they came out. They were like trying to make them out like they were going to be a big deal, and everybody that read them were like, "This is just straight garbage." But just talking about like they said, some of the illustrations is pretty good, but
like some of the artwork is okay.
Yeah.
But the actual
Other than
content,
that, that's it. Yeah,
because they were all written by Warrior himself,
right.
So it's just utter nonsense and garbage. And I'm not a Warrior fan, anyways. But I am going to put these back in the stupid things because they were expensive. Because maybe I can.
So total miss on that wrestling product this week.
You know, when I was looking, I was like, I want to do wrestling comic book because they're out there. Like John Cena has one, The Rock has one, and I was like, no, let's go dumber.
Right.
It was between this and Sergeant Slaughter. I chose poorly.
I think The Miz has a children's book.
He does have a children's book.
Yeah.
And
Young Bucks do too.
Quit ruining my future presentations.
Colt Cabana.
I think Mick Foley probably has a Christmas thing.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the Warrior has a Christmas comic book.
yeah. We will never know about it though. That's all.
I don't know. I might just be saving that for Christmas time.
Oh boy. All right, everybody. Welcome to the show. I am the Dirty Bird. It's time to talk about what we're going to talk about. As we hope you have listened to by now, our pod last week was dedicated to Dreamwave Wrestling, and this Saturday is the big show we've all been getting ready for, so we're going to be talking about that shortly, just a little bit, and then we're going to be talking about reviewing the British Bulldog versus Bret Hart. This classic Intercontinental match is one of AJ's favorite picks here from SummerSlam 1992 as we continue rolling through those in the month of August. Also, we're going to cover the latest in the world of wrestling, and Primo is going to bring back his famous music class, and me and AJ are going to go at it here. Yes. And we're going to talk a lot of wrestling here, so I'm getting ready to go, man. I'm fired up. Let's do this, Primo.
This is Levi Cooper.
Hey, this is Buck Nasty, Bucky Collins.
This is Big Beef.
What's up, bozos? This is Trevor Outlaw, and you're listening.
And you're listening to the Sit Down Marks.
Sit Down Marks.
Sit Down Marks.
And you're listening to the Sit Down Marks podcast with DB, Primo, and AJ.
All right, so for the next 2 weekends, we've got shows. The first one coming up this weekend is the one we've been talking about, the big return of Dreamwave Wrestling this Saturday in Peru, Illinois at Luz La Grotto. It's a big time return here, so we're all excited for that one. The main event is just a plethora of the heart and soul of what has built Dreamwave Wrestling to this point. So I'm excited for that. I really hope my guy Hartenbauer pulls out the win here and ends up being the new Dreamwave champion. So we're excited to be affiliated with that. Me and AJ's going down there early to help with setup and just have a fun day, man, hanging out. And it's going to be a big return. If you're still interested or, maybe be on the fence about it, go check out the pod from last week. As we talked to Jay Repsol, the owner of Dreamwave Wrestling, and also our interviews with Christian Rose and Hartenbauer on there. Both very prominent guys in Dreamwave Wrestling. So, and they're going to be battling it out, this Saturday. And me and AJ is going to be sitting right there enjoying every second of it because, like I said, Dreamwave is a pretty big deal around here, and they are coming back, and we're excited for it. Now, let's talk about Iron Spirit Pro, our promotion that we work for the following Saturday. It's time for the Normal, Illinois Sweet Corn Circus. We're going to be there at 1 o'clock. We're going to be putting on a show, 4 matches. It's all totally free. If you're within the area of Normal, Illinois, come check it out, man. Total free show. We're going to be there. We're going to be selling merch. We're going to be promoting our next show, which is going to be September the 10th back in Normal there as well. So we're going to be talking about that. So if you happen to be in the area, man, come in, stop by. We got 2 big weekends of shows, and we'll be talking about everything that happened or that's happening with these coming up. So, but yeah, AJ, man, it's finally here. I mean, Dreamwave is Saturday, and man, I'm looking forward to it, dude.
I cannot wait. Like, I am so psyched. Like, we're heading up there. Like, people who know me know I'm not much of a morning person, but I'm gonna set my alarm for like 6 a.m. because I want to get there, get early. Like, I'm so pumped, and it's gonna be fun to see like Hartenbauer and Bucky Collins and like everyone performing where they kind of started.
Yeah.
So it's going to be very cool. Very, very cool. I'm looking forward to this. And Iron Spirit as well. That'll be fun because it's at a festival.
Yeah. And just announced too, Max Caster obviously going to be there, but he is hosting the after party at Luz La Grotto, so that'll be fun for everybody too. So yeah, looking forward to it, man. We've been talking about it here for quite a while since we kind of linked up with Jay, so it's finally cool to see all this come together here this Saturday, and it's going to be fun next Saturday. Like I said, it's going to be 4 matches for Iron Spirit Pro, but it's kind of going to be kind of like the baseball show that we did at the stadium. It's going to be short and sweet, but really fun, and it's going to be awesome. So
it's going to be awesome.
All right, let's move on, man, to what we're watching on TV right now. AJ, let's get started with AEW this week, brother. You're up first.
Well, I first want to start with, even though this was now 2 weeks ago, but God, we've been gone for too long. It's weird. One match on AEW's Battle for the Belts. I don't know if you guys watched it or not, but I want to talk about Claudio Castignuli versus Konosuke Takashida.
Yeah.
Just because the match was so unbelievably good that I want to bring it up and make sure, if you haven't seen it, to go watch it. Claudio gets the win, obviously. But it's a showcase for both of these guys. It was for the ROH World Championship. Claudio wins. Go check it out if you haven't. It's fantastic.
It was fantastic. Just it was weird. Like, had they wrestled each other before this?
Yes, they had.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely seemed like it, but it was like it was just very well done.
Yeah, it was pretty great. And I love Claudio, so I had to throw that in there. Now we'll get to Dynamite. Quake by the Lake, because it was in Minneapolis. Baby! Land of 1,000 lakes. It's a thing. Bang, bang. Anyways.
Oh boy. You just hit it one time and give him the giggles.
I wasn't expecting it. Oh my God. Okay, a couple of things. First, the coffin match between Darby Allin and Brody King.
Yeah.
They beat the fuck out of each other.
Yeah, this was nuts, man.
Darby Allin cannot have a long career if he keeps having matches like this. He is going to flame out very quickly. But I love it. It was awesome. Sting popped out of the casket, which means he was laying in that casket for like 45 minutes. Like,
what do you think? Like Sting versus Malachi?
Hell yeah!
Is that what we're looking at soon?
What about the black spot on his face?
Yeah, no, I don't want to think. Sting can't turn heel. That's not a thing that can happen.
Right?
You think Sting power is strong enough to fight it?
Yes, he's Sting.
I mean, I agree, but
sure.
I was just curious what y'all thought.
He's a man called Sting.
Does Sting have a heel turn in him at this point? Like, I feel like
no way.
Like we can't hate him at this point of his career.
No.
Like he just can't get it over. I don't think.
The last time he did something crazy was Joker Sting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was annoying as shit. So I don't.
I liked it.
I see. I was annoyed. Oh wait, that was with Seth Rollins.
I didn't love it. I didn't love it,
Joker
but I didn't
Sting
hate
was
it.
in TNA.
Yeah, Joker Sting.
Oh yeah. That's right. I don't see a Sting heel turn coming. He's too beloved. Like, there's no way. He's a legend, and he's still going. Like
I just don't think it. Yeah, at this point in his career, like
no, it wouldn't do anything. It wouldn't tell a story. Like, he's not really a face, anyways. He's just an anti-hero. He's awesome. What do I want to talk about next? Ricky Starks is what I want to talk about next because he's fucking awesome.
Man, I'm loving this. It's just getting started too, and I'm loving this. This is going to be a fun babyface run for Ricky.
Yeah, like I'm.
Yeah,
it's like Ricky Starks and FTR are like the two baby faces that I want to see every week now because they're just so good.
I'm all aboard. Give them all the belts.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely.
Like he's just one of those total package guys, you know.
Yeah, he's money.
He's so good. Yeah, he's good at talking. He's tan. He's Asian.
he loves it. He loves it. Yeah, he's got it all.
He beat Aaron Solo, which is awesome. And then Wardlow and FTR
tag partners.
Yeah. Skip that because I don't care. And then so the interim World Championship match between Chris Jericho, Lionheart Chris Jericho, and Jon Moxley. This match was awesome too.
I enjoyed it.
Mainly because it was Lionheart Chris Jericho, who's still like the best iteration of Chris Jericho. He actually used the Lion Tamer. At one point, Moxley ripped out his earring, which was gross. They both bled a lot.
Yeah, that was legit, right?
Yeah. And Moxley got the win. And then afterwards, immediately, the Jericho Appreciation Society came out for, shenanigans and bollocks and stuff.
Bollocking?
And then
were they bollocking?
Bollocking.
I was bollocking.
And then the Combat Club came out.
Some movie, I can't remember.
You just made up a movie in your head, and it's kind of weird. So during all this beatdown, what should hit? But I
don't have that one queued up.
That was Cult of Personality. CM Punk makes his return.
He's back.
My God, did he get an explosive pop?
Yeah, he did.
And I loved it too because he, clears house, and Moxley's like sitting in the middle of the ring, like kind of like this, and he's standing behind Moxley. CM Punk is, and Moxley like looks out to Blackpool Combat Club, and he's like, that's fine.
Take chill. I got it.
Yeah. And he like stands up with his back still to CM Punk.
He's like, I know he's there.
Yeah, and then he like flips his belt over his shoulder, and then he turns to meet CM Punk, which is the perfect way to do that.
Yeah.
And then I could have done without the fingers because I'm like, this is a little overdone at this point. Moxley, get a new shtick. But it was great because in this little interaction, it built up their match at All Out perfectly. Like there's like super hype for this match now.
Yeah.
Just because of this tiny, tiny little segment. So it was fantastic. CM Punk's back, and he's going to fight Moxley for the to unify the belts.
And we wouldn't even really be seeing this feud yet if it hadn't been for the injury and then putting the belt on Mox while he was gone. You know what I mean? They wouldn't be even touching on this yet, but you got to now, so let's go for it. I mean, y'all know I'm not a Mox guy, but I respect he's been putting on some fucking awesome matches lately. Like, I'll really hand it to him, and I've liked them all. And, after this, I'm like, hell yeah, like I'm fucking in for Punk and Mox, man. It's going to be awesome.
I'm excited for this feud.
Yeah, it's going to be good, man.
That's all I had for Dynamite. Only
thing I had was Miro's promos.
Yeah.
This is the word of the Redeemer. I fucking I'm watching his promos just to hear him say that at the end.
Mm-hmm. Do not touch the Redeemer. Only one woman can touch me.
And she is not you.
He is so awesome. I love him so much.
I laughed so hard when he said that.
Do not
this
touch
is
the
word of the Redeemer. I love it.
He's so great.
Yep.
Rampage, not a whole lot that I want to talk about, actually. Bryan Danielson cut a great promo talking about how, he lost to Daniel Garcia, and everyone was like, lost, blah, blah. But he's Bryan Danielson, so he's awesome. And then the other thing I wanted to talk about is Beardhausen. Just because I want a Beardhausen t-shirt so badly.
I want Danhausen with Eric Redbeard's beard on him. Like, I'll buy that t-shirt. That'd be funny, right? He was on there too.
That made me laugh. They were against the Gun Club. Gun Club got the win, whatever. But Beardhausen, like this is Eric Redbeard and Danhausen, fantastic. And then there was an Orange Cassidy main event. I don't really care, so I have really nothing to say about that.
Bum, 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 bum.
It is good music, though.
It is good music. Yeah, he's being featured a lot here lately. Like it seems like, you know what I mean? Like a kind of like what WWE's doing with Drew McIntyre. Like we're just seeing him a lot more, like in closing segments and stuff like that. So
crowd favorite.
Yeah, he is
definitely
trying favorite. To draw, give the funny, make the crowd happy.
You guys got anything else for AEW? AEW.
No dice.
All right, Primo, take us to Impact and NWA.
Well, I will do such a thing. I'll take it to Impact and NWA. So, first off, with Impact, it's really just a go-home show before Emergence. Not really much happened.
No.
We had the contract signing between Alex Shelley and Josh Alexander. And then in the main event, Mike Bailey retained the X Division Championship in the main event against Rocky Romero.
Yeah, I like that promo by Alex Shelley. That was good. You know, like how he'd never got a shot and all that kind of stuff. And, you know, made you believe. Made you believe.
Yeah. And that brought us up to Impact Emergence, which was the following night. The results are as follows. Mike Bailey retained the X Division Championship against Jack Evans.
Oh, cool.
Sam Mccallahan versus Steve Macklin is initially ruled a no contest because they ended up brawling to the backstage, and then throughout the night they kept brawling, like you'd see them brawling, and then Moose got involved at one point, and they were broken up. Our boy Hartenbauer was there.
Yeah, special guest security guard.
But then Scott D'Amore, he was like, you know what, fuck this, no DQ match. So then Sammy finally beat Macklin in that no DQ match there.
Yeah.
Violent by Design came together, united, and defeated Chris Sabin and Kushida. You had Bandito defeating Ray Horace.
That was a pretty decent match.
Yeah, it was. Honor No More. So the Honor No More versus Bullet Club match, if Honor No More were to lose, they had to disband. Well, Honor No More defeated Bullet Club, and they do not have to disband. So what the fuck? What was the point?
Just to have a step.
Yeah. So Jordan Grace defeats Mia Yim to retain the Knockouts Championship, and in the main event, Alex Shelley defeated Josh Alexander to become the new Impact World Heavyweight Champion. Finally.
That surprised me.
Yeah, I was a little surprised too.
It's not expecting
because that's not what happened. Josh Alexander retained.
Yeah, I know. I was trying to sell it too, but yeah, I was still thinking about Jack Grace. I'm like, man, she's probably going.
Yeah, Jack. We don't even call her Jordan on this show. It's Jack Grace.
Jack.
My bad.
She's Jack Grace. But
moving on.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Anything?
I was just going to say that I watched. I didn't get to watch all of it, but I knew Hartenbauer was there for setup that morning, so I figured he was probably doing something on the show. So I made sure to see on there. But it's cool to see him on there. But it was from what I watched, it was pretty decent. It was decent.
Yeah. NWA Power. It was just a weekly filler episode. Felt like Tim Storm defeated Larry D. He had Larry D sighting. Chelsea Green, Angelina Love defeated Riley and Paola Blaze. And also, my last point here. Apparently, Jack Stain no longer has to defend the NWA National Championship until NWA 74, which is the next big event they have going on. Because he's successfully defended it so many times. They're like, nah, you know what? You're good.
Yeah. you can go ahead and take a break now. Take a nap or something.
Yeah, that's all I got for Impact and NWA, babe.
Yeah, I seen that NWA 74 is coming up, so that's going to be a good show. All right, let's move on, boys. Let's go to talk about a little WWE here. First, let's talk about it.
Talk about it.
We can't call him no more S&M costumes. No more nipple. What would you guys used to call them?
Sex nipples.
Sex nipples. No more sex nipples.
Nipple gimp guy.
Yeah. Guy. Karrion Kross has returned. He's got hair this time. He's
more killer.
Looks like he's jumping back into the kind of picture here in the headlines. But yeah, he's returned and
with Scarlett.
Of course.
He looks great too.
Yeah, he came back, and he came back as himself. Like it's like what was supposed to happen.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like the first time.
Yeah.
His old gimmick, I believe, was called the Darkened Soul, and I think like kind of like when he had that TNA run or Impact run, where he kind of like made his name a little bit, like as a real like nasty heel. Like I kind of feel like he might be leaning on that again.
Cool.
But like how they put the hourglass in the ring in front of Roman.
I like the fact that it was an hourglass. I thought that was a quaint little touch. That was
right.
Nice.
TikTok.
So they call him Carrion again. He has returned, and he cuts a good promo on the Bloodline, and also on Drew, for just like about like he's coming for him, basically, that kind of stuff. So he's kind of inserted into the heavyweight title picture, kind of almost instantly. Looks like he's going to be mixing it up with Drew and Roman. So, so I'm pretty excited to see this iteration, like erase everything I remember about him previously, other than NXT. NXT was good. I like that part.
Yes. Just the sex nipples and the.
Right. Yeah. It just didn't work. By the way, we are in Raleigh, North Carolina tonight for SmackDown. The Women's Tag Team Championship tournament continues. With as they kind of break all that down in matches till they get to the champion. So I think if I had to look right now, I think probably like it kind of seems smart to put the title on Bailey's girls. Dakota.
Are you talking about the tournament?
In the tournament. So, but Raquel, who's Raquel tagging with? Liv. Maybe, right? I can't remember, but she might be a little bit of a dark horse, whoever team she's on. But anyway, so Drew McIntyre comes out too. He's going to talk some junk, and then Scarlett, as we just mentioned, comes out while Drew was talking, and he gets distracted, and then the Usos attack him. And then basically the Usos tell Scarlett, the tribal chief will put you down if you put his name in your mouth, that kind of deal. And Scarlett said, yeah, well, Cross said to send you I have the same message for you that, basically we're going to put you down. And basically that was it. So it's kind of a little bit of an awkward ending, but
there's a little war words.
Yeah. Backstage, Drew attacks the Usos and basically leaves them laying there. So that was kind of like how that all got going. So, all right, next we have a return of Hit Row.
No, you were correct the first time.
Oh, it was? Yeah. No, we got B-Fab, Top Dollar, and Adonis out of nowhere, without Swerve Scott, of course. He is.
I say, you know who they're missing.
Yeah, he's got a tag team belt.
That's right. They're missing the main guy from Hit Row.
Yeah, the only one that people cared about.
They come out kind of out of nowhere and beat up a couple local talent guys, and that Pat McAfee, he's doing this like illustrator thing now, where he gets a telestrator where he gets to, draw on the screen like John Madden used to do back in the day,
Yeah.
He just completely shit all over these guys that were in the ring, like the local guys.
The enhancement talent.
Yeah. So being an indie guy, I was kind of like, it's fuck off,
don't do that.
It's a little shitty. But anyway, so but moving on, Rhonda shows up kind of like in a weird little cheesy segment to pay her fine in cash from after the security guards or to pay her fine. Then security guards show up, and after they get her to leave, Shayna Baszler comes out and they have a little bit of a tiff, a little bit of a face off. Shayna tells Rhonda, they're old friends. Tells Rhonda that she can't do that. She can't be acting like that. And Rhonda basically tells her, well, I remember when you used to be a killer. And then the contract signing with Liv and Shayna ends in Shayna attacking Liv. Shocker. That's the way these things go. But so, a little bit of, maybe Rhonda, Shayna, maybe later on down the road a little bit, but Shayna could be a good person for Liv to beat, to kind of,
give her some more credibility.
Yeah, give her some clout. Yeah.
I like Shayna. I've liked Shayna. I used to not like her so much, but she really has grown on me over time.
I like Shayna.
I really like her a lot.
I think she's great.
Yeah, good. Yeah, it's good. Always, a good heel. And I think when she does finally make a face turn, I hope it's a good one, where she saves somebody, where it really shocks everybody and everybody gets her on her side. But other than that, for SmackDown, I got Gonta retaining the IC title versus AJ's boy Nakamura. Probably a rematch coming soon. I think I would think so. So so that was it for SmackDown that I want to talk about. Raw, we were in Primo's backyard here, Washington D.C. We got more Judgment Day and Mysterios. Sounds like we're going to have Damian Priest versus Edge next Monday in Toronto for Raw.
Slow jerk.
Yeah. So what do you guys think about Ziggler and Theory starting a little feud? And they were in the main event tonight. Go ahead and tell you, but Theory beat him with the A-Town down. Pretty clean.
That was a good match.
It was a good match. Yeah.
I mean, as I was watching that, I was like, man, these two guys, and just because I've told you guys in the past, I like that. I like what I'm about to say, but Theory and Ziggler would be the perfect candidates to have a best of 7 match.
Yeah,
a best of 7 series.
I would watch that actually.
Yeah,
and be amused.
Yeah, 2 guys in there, and obviously Ziggler's giving Theory the rub here, but I mean this was good stuff. You know what I mean? It's really good laid out match, so it made sense. I think Washington D.C. was a little pissed off that was the main event to go home on.
Yeah.
You heard a lot of boos, and I don't think it was just from Theory winning.
Yeah.
I thought maybe they thought somebody was going to run in or something. But anyway, the meat of the show, Ciampa and Miz beat Cedric Alexander and Ali, who are kind of getting back on TV a little more.
Sure.
Yep. Kevin Owens, Drew McIntyre put on a hell of a match, all except for the ending, ruined by the Usos. But this was fucking awesome. Like we heard we heard the
top of the show,
top of the show coming in. This was prelude to that, and they really laid it on the line here. So that was awesome watch. I really enjoyed it. Next up, we got Seth Rollins and Matt Riddle.
What up, bro?
They were going to continue their feud. They're going to have their match at Clash at the Castle. So this was more to that. What about Riddle's new 420 bro shirt he had on?
Yeah, I saw that.
You'll be able to buy that at WWE shop here shortly.
Yeah, I mean, cool.
We jokes. Yeah.
I mean, it's just
They're just diving in on it. They're just diving in on it.
Yeah, I like Riddle a lot, but it's like, I mean, I get it. Like we know, dude. We know.
Yeah,
we get it.
Yeah. They're probably looking at it as like he might be pulling in a different genre. You know what I mean? Like, you get them old stoners back in to watch if we got old old 420 bro up here.
Right.
But what I really enjoyed on Raw, which is kind of wild, man, with them being together. Is this really the first time Lashley and AJ Styles wrestled? But I think they were saying for the U.S. title.
Okay. It can't possibly be the first
time. It can't be.
Though.
Yeah, it can't be. It can't be, right?
WWE possibly.
WWE.
Lashley was in TNA, so
right. Yeah. But Bobby wins clean with a spear.
But I liked it so much, and obviously I'm a huge AJ Styles fan, but I'm also a big Bobby Lashley fan, I'm like I said a couple weeks ago. He's my favorite champ right now, and also it's just they're putting in some real work to really make the belt mean something again.
Yeah, that's why I liked it. Yeah. Actually, I liked it a lot.
They're putting the lineage kind of in the forefront of all the guys in line, and Lashley's one of those guys, and yeah. I mean, AJ was a pretty fucking stellar U.S. champ himself. He was one of those guys that kind of brought it back up. I mean, he took it from Cena, if I do recall, but. But I mean, Cena obviously elevated it too. But there's guys that make the belt, and some guys belt makes the guy. You know what I mean? So AJ's one of those guys that makes the belt.
I was very happy with this match. I like both guys too. I was okay with AJ losing cleanly. I don't think it hurt him, and it made Bobby Lashley look great. And it was fantastic.
All right, we're going to move on here. NXT. This was called Heat Wave.
Really,
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Really quick, I do want to mention how well Asuka and Alexa Bliss work as a tag team. I thought they were great. I don't know why. Like, they're just quick in and out tag team moves. Like, it means nothing, but I enjoyed their match.
Right. Honestly, though, right now, like as soon as Alexa Bliss's music hits, I get annoyed. Like,
do you really?
It's awful. I think.
Yeah. Also, too, what do you think of something I think is actually super clever, and I like it a lot. It makes people want to like keep your eyes peeled, right? Is all the like Easter eggs throughout Raw the past 2 weeks, and then like Dexter Lumis showing up.
Yeah.
But it's like, why the fuck is the trash can on fire? Or who the fuck? Like, they're doing an interview here like 2 weeks ago, and they're talking to the ladies, and behind there's like a wrecked car.
Yeah.
And so we're like, what? What's going on?
Right. Yeah.
It's like background storytelling. Like, I almost wish they wouldn't address it at all. Just have it go on in the background.
The only thing is like, obviously it's Dexter Lumis. We know that because we're not stupid. Yeah. But we know it's obviously not real, because if we know as lifelong wrestling fans, if it were real, they would not put the camera on him.
No.
Right, yeah.
They would not. At all.
Right, yeah. They wouldn't even mention it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Indy Hartwell got like a letter from him too.
Index.
On NXT that it said like Index Forever, and he had drew like a picture or something on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So NXT Heat Wave. Let me give you the results here. This was kind of an elevated, wouldn't call it like a pay-per-view type, but like an elevated, show that they do during the summer. Not a lot happened really, but Carmelo retained the North American Championship versus Giovanni Vinci. We got a debut here, Gallus, which is a NXT UK faction, of Wolfgang and the Coffee Brothers.
Brothers, I like that.
They attack Diamond Mine while basically they're self-imploding anyway, but they attack them to kind of say that they're here. A lot of the show had some NXT UK flavor on it, but obviously. I know a little bit about the Coffee Brothers and Wolfgang, obviously, but I haven't watched too much, like I said, of NXT UK. But whatever happened to Tyler Bate is their champion now. Whatever happened to like Drago or whatever that guy's name
injured.
was.
Yeah,
he's injured.
Hurt.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. I kind of figured, but I wouldn't know. I knew you guys would confirm.
He had to vacate a little while back.
Okay.
He is injured.
Cora Jade, in a little bit of a shocker, beat Roxanne Perez. So, and then probably my favorite match of the night, Tony D'Angelo beat Santos Escobar, who must now leave NXT. Rumor is he's going to SmackDown. Yeah.
Is all of Legado del Fantasma going though? I hope.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I hope they're going to. I hope they just move the whole. Yeah, move the whole faction.
That's something I am excited about.
Yeah. So, I kind of figured, if Santos loses, this is probably, what's going to happen. But makes gives more clout to Tony D'Angelo, with that storyline. Mandy Rose retained the NXT Women's title versus Zoe Starks in the co-main event. No surprise there. It seemed a little too early. So, but I know Zoe's she's pretty popular, so I wouldn't be surprised if she ends up with the title. So, main event though, Braun Breaker retained the title versus JD McDonough. Post-match, he faces off with the NXT UK champion Tyler Bate, as it seems they will be a bit of NXT UK mixed in on NXT here in the early future.
Gonna say, I mean, after watching this show and just recently, right? Not just tonight, but recently you've had JD McDonough, you've had Pretty Deadly.
Yeah.
And now you have Tyler Bate and you have Gallus. So it's
Yeah.
like British Invasion a little bit.
Yeah. You had Briggs and what's his name went over there and won the tag
Yeah,
titles,
so
you
it's
know?
like
Yeah.
maybe Briggs and Jensen going over there upset the balance, and now all the Brits are coming over to, fuck up the American NXT show.
Sure. Yeah. So there's a lot of flavor of that. Alba Fire. There's another one that came over.
I wish she would change her name back. I don't like that name.
You don't like that?
Oh,
yeah.
you don't like that?
No.
It kind of fits her with the red hair and all that stuff, but yeah.
Okay,
the name's a little weird.
Yeah, the name is weird.
Alba Fire.
There's no Redbeard.
Yep. All right, so that's it for the recap, boys. It's time for the Dropkick discussion of the week. Let's go.
Hey guys, this is Mr. Havens, the Argyle assassin himself, giving them all the shivers.
This is the one and only Mike Hartenbauer.
This is Space Jesus Billy Starks.
This is referee Dan Perch.
What's up, bozos? This is Trevor Outlaw. You can address me as yours rudely. And you're listening to the Sit Down Marks podcast.
You guys are listening to Sit Down Marks podcast.
You're listening to Sit Down Marks podcast.
Come celebrate pro wrestling right here on the Sit Down Marks podcast.
With DB, Primo, and AJ.
With DB, Primo, and AJ.
With Primo, DB, and AJ.
And you're listening to DB, Primo, AJ here on the Sit Down Marks podcast, the best podcast for professional wrestling.
All right, we roll on through August with AJ's favorite Intercontinental title matches we've been rolling through. And today, AJ has brought us to Bret Hart versus the British Bulldog from SummerSlam 92, AJ.
I do bring you this. This is from London, England, Wembley Stadium, with a reported crowd size of, what was it, like 80,000 or something like that. But again, it's Vince McMahon, so who knows. Couple of things before this. So this is one of my favorite matches anyways.
Okay.
Like as a kid, I absolutely love this match. As an adult, I like it even more because, do you guys know the story behind this match? A little history?
I know the tidbits.
So what had happened was over the summer before SummerSlam, Davey Boy Smith allegedly, and this is according to Bret's book, spent the entire summer smoking crack with Jim Neidhart and completely forgot all of his spots. Like completely forgot everything they had planned for the match because he was smoking crack. And then a week before the event was supposed to take place, he just disappears. Like he goes on like another crack binge, apparently. And Davey Boy Smith at this point in his career was in a lot of pain and did a lot of drugs. So Bret Hart like sat Davey Boy down because Davey Boy confessed to everything. And Bret Hart was like, don't worry. Like, I got you. Like, I'll just listen to me. Well, I'll get you through it. So that's the background of this match, is that Bret Hart proved why Bret Hart is Bret Hart and led Davey Boy Smith through this entire classic match. So that's
impressive.
That's the backstory to it. So early on in the show, this is the main event, by the way, because it is in London. So British Bulldog going for the IC belt is going to be the main event. We have a couple of promos beforehand. Neither of these guys are really great at cutting promos, but these are the best that they've kind of cut.
Sure.
Because, you have British Bulldog. There's no bull in this British Bulldog. And then Bret Hart doing his, bounce. I don't know why he bounces when he talks. It weirds me out. So you have a promo with both of them, babyface promo. Obviously, Bret Hart's going to be the heel eventually because they're in London. So we're going to go to the entrances, and British Bulldog's pop was absolutely absurd.
It was ginormous.
And Bret Hart got a big pop as well, but not quite as big because Bret Hart's like the most beloved babyface in the company at this point. And a couple of things. There was some fucking twat in the crowd who had one of those horns.
Vuvuzela horns? Yes.
It wasn't even like a vuvuzela because those are like... Oh,
yeah. It's like...
Yeah, oh my God. And there was an absolute sea of those green foam fingers.
Yes,
like
it was the foam finger era.
It was bizarre. So that's the opening before the match starts. What do you guys got?
First, Finkel's voice is timeless. I love hearing him introduce the, Bret Hart. I can't even do it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just love hearing him introduce, these guys when they, walk out, and just ring announce in general. Like, it's just, it's just a voice of like my childhood kind of, you know what I mean? Like, you heard Howard Finkel, always announce a foam finger era. It says, that I wrote here, those were SummerSlam foam fingers, and some of them said like Macho Man, oh yeah, on them, or something like that, too. Okay, so I don't know if you guys even know this about me. I'm a big boxing fan. I don't know, we've never boxing much, but so Lennox Lewis, who walked to the ring with British Bulldog at the time, and still is the biggest British boxing. Like, he was the best British boxer they've ever had, and still is to this day. Like, Lennox Lewis was a stone cold fucking killer. Like, he put dudes to sleep. Yeah,
he went to the Olympics, right? Like, he was an Olympian, and then he's the one who beat Mike Tyson.
Yeah. He basically beat everybody, but Hasim Rahman, he beat him in the rematch. Hasim Rahman put him to sleep with a lucky shot. But yeah, Lennox Lewis beat everybody, but like probably in the top 10. Talking possible greats of all time. But anyway, to get back to the rest part, so very smart by them for him to come out with Bulldog here. Probably at the time they might have been the two biggest icons in sports in the British, genre. Those two guys. So. But that was awesome. They talked about. You heard Vince talk about later that Lennox Lewis is going to be fighting Razor Ruddock. Like October the 29th or something in that stadium, later on he brings it up. Well, Lennox Lewis knocked out Razor Ruddock in the second round. So that's to show you how big of a badass he was. So reason why I got here is because AJ was talking about the pop that you got, like both of those guys coming out at the same time to Brits is like Mount Rushmore shit, man. Like, they fucking eat that up, man. Like, it was such a big pop, man. Like, totally smart, man. Like, I was just like, and I totally forgot about Lennox Lewis coming out. So it was like, I was genuinely like, oh my God, I forgot. That's great. Right before the Razor Ruddock fight. Anyway, so I was just going through my head, remembering everything. Also, Triple H, can we please bring that Intercontinental title back? Like, that one
to prominence.
Like, you know what I mean?
Like that specific belt.
That Pacific belt. Like, that's my favorite one.
It's the best one.
My second favorite one is that one with the white leather background. I like the white too.
The Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah. But Brett's, like I always say, Brett's and Sean Razor's IC belt. Like, that's my favorite one. So I'd like to see that one come back. Bobby Heenan saying, I don't know why the Bulldog lets Whoopi Goldberg do his hair.
I have a little mention about his hair as well.
That's all I got up until the start. Other than, damn right, the champ comes out last. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So, SummerSlam, WWF SummerSlam 1992 is brought to you by
SummerSlam.
IcoPro, for everyone that cares about their body.
IcoPro.
It was brought to you by IcoPro.
That's great.
It's for everyone that cares
Dietary
about
supplement.
their body. Yeah. Bret Hart getting offended before the match. That's just the fight game, baby. Relax. I forgot what Bulldog said. It was like,
there's no bull in this British Bulldog.
He's like, I don't know. He's like, something like, he don't know like who he's going against, something like that. And Bret Hart was like, he don't know me. I'm his brother-in-law. Like, I was like, bro, it's a fight.
He knows you.
Like, why are you taking it so personal?
Yeah, like, it was scripted. You read the script beforehand.
Yeah, I love the opening with the bagpipe players and Roddy Piper coming out, to play the bagpipes, because Roddy Piper does represent the entire country of Scotland, after all.
Right.
Which, by the way, does he actually know how to play the bagpipes? It kind of looks like he did.
Yeah, he looked like he did.
Looks like he did. Yeah, I think
he's come to the ring like playing before, right?
Yeah, I kept waiting on like Haku to hit him from behind or something.
The way they keep saying in completion, the World Wrestling Federation Intercontinental Championship. makes it feel really important.
Yes, it does.
Vince was great, man. He was a good commentator.
The only thing I like about Bret Hart's entrance is his leather jacket. But both of these looks, obviously, both Bret and Bulldog, both their looks are very iconic.
Yeah.
And that's all I got for the intros.
Yeah, Bulldog has to have the Great Britain flag tights on with the braids.
Always.
Yeah, and
the braids.
And I'm gonna talk about it later too, man. But I'll go ahead and mention it now since we're talking about wardrobe. Yeah, like Bret's iconic, man. But probably my most favorite thing about Bret's whole attire was his boots. I loved the pink with the black tips with the black star on the side. Like I love those boots, man. Those are iconic to me about Bret.
Everything is iconic to me about Bret. Look at him go. There he is, right there.
Look at him go.
So match starts with stare off, a little stare down, and that's when I was like, it looks like Bret, or it looks like British Bulldog is a 16-year-old girl who went to Jamaica with her family for vacation and came back with that haircut.
She just didn't have the temporary tattoos.
That's such a good analogy.
I went to the island, so I had to get my hair braided.
Got my hair
to let everybody know.
They have their typical, standoffs. Both guys look absolutely crisp. There's a bunch of exchanges, arm bars into reverses. At one point, Davey Boy kips up, which was impressive because he's wider than he is tall.
Sure.
The crowd is eating everything up. Like a Davey Boy shoulder tackles Bret out of the ring, and the crowd goes nuts for just a tiny little bump.
They were looking for a squash.
They were looking for a squash. That is not going to happen with Mr. Bret Hart. So commentary, at one point, Bobby Heenan, Bret Hart hits Davey Boy with an elbow, and Bobby Heenan goes, right in the fish and chips, which doesn't make any sense, but I love it.
He just shit on the Brits this whole freaking match, man. It was great. Crazy.
He called Lennox Lewis Joe Lewis.
Joe Lewis, yeah. Vince annoyed the crap out of me because he said unbelievable every other word.
Unbelievable!
It's unbelievable! That was unbelievable. You cannot believe that. It was unbelievable. Shut
Pronouns,
up.
pal.
Pronouns, pal. So the match goes on like this. Well, they'll have a flurry of moves, and then they'll take the rest spot, so Bret can convey the next sequence of events to cracked out Davey Boy Smith.
That's what I said too. I said Bret using all these rest holds so he can tell Bulldog what to do next.
There was a couple of really awesome spots though. One where Davey Boy was on the outside and Bret went over to the top rope, and he looked like he was just gonna splash him, but Davey Boy was out of place or something like that. So he did this slingshot / famouser type deal, not famouser. What's zigzag? Yeah. And he looked like he turned in midair and just grabbed him and took him.
Shit out of him.
Yeah, it was awesome though. Davey Boy has the best crucifix pin still to this day, especially in this match. It was crisp and fast. All kinds of back and forth signature spots from both guys. At one point, Davey Boy takes Bret to the top rope, which Bret doesn't like being on the top rope. That's bad up there. And gets suplexed off. At one point, there's a dub spot. And this is also in his book. That transition into a sharpshooter, when they were both laying on the ground, Bret Hart practiced that on his wife the night before to see if it would work. So he made his wife get out of bed and lay on the ground to see if it would work.
I mean, I would have practiced it in bed.
Hey! Speaking
bang,
of wives,
bang.
Thank you. They kept cutting to shots.
That was kind of annoying.
Yeah, I got annoyed too because the whole time she's just
It was like they were cueing her the first couple times. They were cueing her up. Hey, look, we're about to put you on camera, and then look emotional. She was way more involved than I remembered. You know what I mean?
She was heavily featured throughout they kept going back to her, and I was like, just go back to the match. I don't care about her dumb face. Just stop it.
Her weird attire.
It was the early 90s. It was great. She's kind of a pretty lady, though. I will give her that.
Yeah, she's a pretty lady. There's like an all leather like cowboy
brownish thingy. Yeah,
the frills.
Yeah.
By the way, we're talking about Diana Hart, who was Bret's sister, Davey Boy's wife. So
right. Not to be mistaken with Bret's wife that he practiced the move on.
Yeah, that he practiced the move on the night before. So the whole match is like that, back and forth. No one ever really has control. Bret takes part of the part of the heel because obviously he's going to, like, he keeps getting frustrated and like plays through the crowd a little bit. So the end of the match comes about when after Bret does that cool transition into the sharpshooter, Davey Boy gets to the ring, or gets to the ropes, and then he reverses a sunset flip into a pin for the 1, 2, and 3 to become the new WWE or World Wrestling Federation Intercontinental Champion.
Yeah.
Right.
What do you have up until that?
You want me to go?
Go for it.
So I said from the beginning the catch into the monkey flip. So Bulldog caught Bret and then like midair and then reversed it into a monkey flip. That was pretty nice. I said, I hope the crowd at Clash at the Castle is loud like this one. And I wonder if we'll also get bagpipes again, since Drew McIntyre is going to be in the main event.
Yeah, but Roddy Piper's dead, so who will play him?
A bagpipe band?
No, not
regular
acceptable.
bagpipe.
Is a bagpipe band called a band? Or are they
bagpipers?
Bagpipers, yeah.
I don't know.
It's relevant.
And I laughed. I laughed out loud because I thought it at the same time Brain said it. Whenever he goes, the Bulldog just got bulldogged.
Right, yeah.
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 And,
Bulldog's kind of a move they don't use much anymore. You know
not very much.
No.
It's such like a either that or it's like so commonplace you don't think about it. It's more of like a setup move. Bret, so you're talking about that spot where he jumps to the outside with Bulldog standing ringside. I said Bret did a wild zigzag jumping on Bulldog outside the ring, and like I said, he like grabs him by the neck and zigzags him down. And I mean, at this point, Bulldog is already blown up, and he takes quite a whip to the ground there.
He does.
Vince called a Russian leg sweep a neck breaker.
Yep.
Bret should have been DQ'd like twice for not answering the 5 count on the sleeper.
It is the rules.
These are the rules. But there was a rope break, and the ref goes 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm like, bro, what the fuck?
That's 8.
Yeah. So Bulldog starts getting the comeback. Bulldog whipped Bret hard as hell into the turnbuckle. Whipped his chest first in the turnbuckle.
That's like
Bret
my favorite spot that Bret does.
Locking into the sharpshooter from his back, I'll give him that, was pretty cool. And I put the finish was interesting because it was just so like out of fucking nowhere. And then I wrote this because I laughed so hard whenever Brain said it because I was still smiling out because when they hand Bulldog the belt, he's looking at it, and Brain goes, "That's the belt, stupid. Put it on. You want it."
God, he was healing so hard all night.
Oh,
man.
and he was great.
That's all I got.
For me, a few notes I had was Bulldog's gorilla press that Bret kind of fell into the ropes. That looked a little nasty. It looked like Bret kind of was like, all right, I'm just going to hang on until I slow down and I'm going to get off. So that was nasty. Bulldog got kind of lackadaisical, but then, Bret kicked out of the power slam, which gives more life to Bret, made you kind of think Bret was retaining there for a second. But, Bulldog had to get out of the sharpshooter at some point. The ending was kind of clever to me because they had to do something because we had already seen the finishers. They had already kicked out of the finishers, and like nowadays they just do the finisher again most of the time.
Yeah.
If one don't work, I'm going to give you 2 or 3 or F5s or
5, yeah.
Yeah. Now it's, kind of back then they were in the mindset of finding a different way.
They're like, what's it going to take to keep him down?
Yeah.
4 F5.
So he kind of pinned him down. Yeah. Then my last note was, I forgot how much Diana was involved in this match. Like, all the way up to the end there. So
she's wearing. Okay, I just couldn't get over this. She was wearing that brown leather jacket.
Sure.
And like black cotton gloves. So like nothing matches on. And underneath that is a blue denim shirt. I'm just like, what the fuck? Is this what they do in Canada?
She was ready for anything.
She was any weather. She was.
Was it cold there?
It's England. It's always cold.
What is the Canadian tuxedo? Ain't that like denim?
It's double denim.
Denim on denim.
Yeah.
Denim and then more denim.
All right, boys. So we have watched it. We've reviewed it. Now it's time to smelly mark it. Bret versus Bulldog, SummerSlam 92. We'll let AJ go last since this was one of his favorites. Let's talk about it first, Primo. What's your rating?
For me, I thought that I liked how it was a spectacle. And I liked the crowd reaction, how much they fucking loved Bulldog. Yeah. And from the get-go, I favored Bulldog also. Bret basically whipped his ass all match. And then, Bulldog got his comeback, and then they had the super quick out of nowhere finish.
Yeah.
But it was a good match. I mean, I gave it a 7 out of 10 smelly marks.
Okay. Okay. For me, okay, I'm going to date myself here. Obviously, we jokes my way. Okay, so I was 17 in 92 watching this, right? Okay.
So old.
Oh, no. So back when I watched this, I mean, just it blew my mind. I was amazed. Me and Dad watched it live. It was freaking awesome. Dad goes. I remember Dad telling me, I liked all the baby faces, right? So so I'm like, but I'm on Bulldog side here because and my dad's telling me, oh, they put Bulldog and Bret's matches on last because he's gonna lose, because he always told me nobody wins in their hometown, nobody wins in their home, right?
For the most part, that's correct.
Yeah, from the old days, right? So back then, like I probably would have smelly marked this match like super high, right? Okay, so now knowing the stories that we know, watching, this I do think this match was still special because there's just moments in time when in wrestling, where a wrestler gets to wrestle in front of his home crowd for a big time match at a big time event for a big time belt, and things are just elevated. It just makes that much more special and feel important, right? So but watching it back now, with everything, like I say, that I know, Bret walking him through this match and all this kind of stuff, I'm the importance of it and everything wrapped in together, the kind of match it was, Bret putting Bulldog over, letting him kind of have his shine. I remember Bret talking about he hoped that this would clean up Bulldog, give him motivation to get the fuck off the shit, you know what I mean? And, that kind of stuff. So, knowing that I know, but I'm going to stick, all that being said, all that together, this match is an 8.5 to me. I love it. That was great. That was great.
So,
AJ.
After the match ends, there's, the passing of the torch. Well, not a passing of the torch, because obviously both guys have been there for, 5 years at this point.
Yeah.
But Bret Hart, this is why he's one of my favorites of all time. He put over his brother-in-law in front of the home crowd, and afterwards, Diana comes in the ring and he fakes like he's not gonna, shake his brother-in-law's hand, and then he does, and there's this feel-good moment. Crowd goes absolutely nuts. And that's why I loved it so much as a kid. And then as an adult. Like I've told you guys, I've rewatched this match several times, and it's one of my favorite storytelling matches. Like yeah, there were a lot of rest spots. There really, really were, out of necessity. But it never got boring. Like it never, like the story was always there. The in-ring psychology was always there. So I continue to love it as much as I did the first time I saw it. So I'm also gonna give it an 8.5. Smelly, stinky marks.
Yeah.
It was a long ass match too.
It was,
yeah, like 28 minutes.
Yeah. If you especially from the entrances on back, and So this one was fun, man. Next week we're moving on. We got 2 more for you from AJ for the month of August. Next week, this is one of my favorite matches of my whole life.
Hell yeah.
Because I'm such a Razor Ramon fan. We're going to WrestleMania 10. Razor Ramon versus Shawn Michaels, the famous ladder match for the Intercontinental title. So that one's going to be fun. So we'll be moving on to that one next week. So go watch it. You've seen it. Go watch it again. So to kind of refresh your memory, for us to talk about it, and we'll all come back here next week and talk about how great it was. So this probably is going to be my highest rating yet, I can imagine.
We've never given any match a 10
so far. No,
it's hard to reach a 10.
It is hard to reach a 10. I like that we've never given a match a 10 because, 10 matches like the top.
Right, sure. Higher expectations. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, that's going to do it for the Dropkick discussion of the week. It is time once again. Primo is bringing back music class. Hit that game show music, Primo.
All right, we are back with Primo's music class, baby.
I need to redeem myself.
Yeah,
I've got a winning streak, don't I?
Quote the Redeemer, nevermore.
I have 2 wins in a row in this.
AJ is our most recent music class winner was Michael.
Michael, yes.
I got the win before that. It was a fluke, though.
Right.
God, I'm gonna get smoked.
In fact, speaking of Bulldog, on Michael's win, you missed Bulldog's music, AJ. So, that being said, we are back, everybody, for music class. You know the game. We have 5 different songs played in 10, 8, 6, 4, and 2 second increments, with difficulty going from easiest to hardest as the seconds get smaller. They can be from any time in history, but this time I will say that none of these are current, and the theme is classical.
All right.
Okay.
Here we go. I like it.
All right. With that being said, we
themed
will
edition.
Get to our first classical. First one to shout out the name gets the point. 10 seconds. Here we go.
Shit.
That's 10 seconds.
Yeah.
I mean, we know the song.
I know. Fuck. It's Harley Race.
Who came out to that? I can't remember.
Exactly. That's why that's a good one.
Yeah.
Was it Harley Race?
No.
Fuck.
One more again. Not that's gonna help you.
Adrian Adonis.
That's a good guess.
I will say, I'll give you both a hint on this. When he's not that old, like as old as y'all are saying.
Lanny.
All right, final guesses. Here we go.
Hearst Helmsley.
Boom!
Yes!
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 Wait a minute.
You're not ribbing me, right? That's really
correct.
Was he still Paul Levesque when he came out?
He was the aristocrat. Hunter Hearst
Aristocrat.
See, oh my God, I was thinking that, but I'm like, no, there's like some sort of harpsichord.
This is Beethoven's Ninth Symphony.
Ooh.
God fucking damn it.
Yes.
Ode to Joy.
Nice,
Yes.
baby.
Next up, with our 8-second go of it, let's hear it.
King Booker.
Adrian Adonis.
No. I will say this is probably late 80s, early 90s.
Okay.
Ted RCD.
King Haku.
King Haku. Oh man, these classic ones are getting you guys.
Yeah, they are.
This wasn't his final music. I will say that.
Fucking.
One last chance.
Tito
Both of you.
Santana.
No.
Shoot, man.
If you spit this out again.
I know, that was pretty good.
Hang on.
I'll give you one more listen.
Mr. Perfect.
Oh my God, you got it!
That was it. Oh, nice.
Boom.
Nice. Look at you. Good work.
That is the
I wasn't
Exodus.
even leaning at.
The Exodus theme from the 1960s movie Exodus.
Ooh,
very good.
1-1. Let's go.
These next three are going to be a lot easier. I'll say that. Our 6 seconds. Here we go.
Mankind.
Yeah, very good.
That is Mankind with Ode to Freud.
Yes, that one's iconic.
Yeah, that one.
4
That one always
seconds.
creeped me out still.
So that's 2 DB, 1 AJ. These are going to go quick, AJ. Get ready.
Jerry Lawler.
Yeah. Shit.
That's 3,
fucking hell.
1. And finally, for the fun of it,
Macho
our
Man.
2 second.
Thank you.
Hey, Macho Man.
I knew that one was going to be in there somewhere.
Yes, back on top, Daddy.
Here we go. Congrats, DB. Woo! By the way, that Kings was the Great Gate at Kiev, and of course, Randy Savage with Pomp and Circumstance.
Pomp and Circumstance. Well played. I like the theme game.
I was just about to say the same thing. I like the theme.
Yeah.
Man. That's awesome.
Congratulations, Dirty. Back in the winners bracket.
Hey, I got something.
I can't have all the titles.
I know.
I just can't.
King once again.
You're the last man standing, like undefeated, though.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know why I'm so good at that and so bad at this.
All right. Speaking of King, it's time for King of the Mountain. Let's see if Primo can stay on top. Let's go, Lemmy. Mortal Kombat!
I picked the wrong one. It's right next to it.
Time to play the game!
Oh, that was great.
My trigger finger got too happy.
All right, so King of the Mountain. Primo is the current king with a streak of 3 correct picks so far. AJ and I had dropped back down to 0 after another loss. So going into last week, we had picked between the UFC women's bantamweight fights between Mena Bueno Silva and Stephanie Egger. Okay,
Who did I pick? I don't even remember. Oh, I picked Silva.
You went Egger.
Well,
no, you went Silva. We went Egger.
So Bueno, for the wrestling relation, reminded me of means good in Spanish. So the Good Father, and then Stephanie Egger reminded me of Bobby Heenan's old ham and eggers. He used to make all the time. Right. Yeah. So we were picking from the Good Father versus the Heenans. It has worked really well for Primo so far. He was the only one. He picked Mena Bueno Silva, the Good Father, and AJ and I went with the ham and eggers, so to speak, Stephanie Eggers of Bobby Heenan.
The suspense is killing me.
The current streak, Primo, is 3. Let's see if you stayed on top. We'll go with yours since you were the only one that picked the good father, Maina Bueno Silver, did she beat Stephanie Egger?
Wow.
He sure did.
God damn it!
When are y'all gonna learn to go with me?
I couldn't go with Goodfather overheated. I couldn't do it.
We do.
But I will say, don't go with me this time. The odds are starting to go against me.
Yeah, you got 4 in a row now.
Yeah.
All right, Primo. So that brings
really
your streak
good.
up to 4. Get 4
Jesus
in a
Christ.
row. All right. So it's going to get interesting this week because we're going to be picking from a little NFL preseason football. Okay?
Oh, yes, dude, which is so unpredictable.
It's so unpredictable. Yeah. All right. So the game that I picked was the Detroit Lions versus the Indianapolis Colts. The game is Saturday at 12 Central, 1 Eastern time. Okay, why the Lions? Why the Colts? Okay, well, obviously the Lions. We've heard Chris, the Lionheart Jericho lately. So
nice.
Chris Jericho representing the Lions. And then for the Colts, their logo reminded me of the old Brandon iron that Dustin Rhodes used to bring to the ring in WCW. So we're picking from the Detroit Lions, a.k.a. Chris Jericho's, versus the Indianapolis Colts, a.k.a. the Dustin Rhodes. All right, Primo, got the streak at 4. Who's going to be your pick for this week?
See, this is where we're getting into football, and I try not to use my brain here, but look, I've been watching Hard Knocks, which is the Detroit Lions this year.
It is.
And I like Dan Campbell and some of the players on that team. However, my boy, hook 'em horns, baby, Sam Ellinger is QB for the Colts, so I got to go with the Dustin Rhodes, the natural Colts.
Hey Jay, who you feeling? Jericho's or the Dustin Rhodes?
So my reasoning for this is there's some sports figures that play for one of those teams that they're good at the sports that they play, and on the other sporting squad they're not quite as good.
They're all professionals.
They're throwing balls and marching balls across lines and stuff. So I am going to go with the Chris Jerichos.
So that would be the Detroit Lions.
Sports!
Yeah,
right.
But this is why, before DB gives his pick, you can't really go with, you can never tell with preseason because they put in the second and third string, the rookies.
Yes, this could end in a tie. Possibly, because they don't play overtime. So, a tie is still a win. So if you get to the end of the game, maybe root for a tie. I don't know. Yeah. So a lot of guys trying to make the team. So, a lot of guys that you see ain't even going to be on the week 1 roster. So that's what kind of makes it more of a toss up. I mean, looking at both of these, I'm not going to pick between Jericho and Colts this week. I'm learning my lesson. I'm just going to pick with Primo here. I'm going to go with the Colts because I'm tired of losing. So at least if we lose this week, we're going to lose together. Yeah, we're going to lose together. So I'm going with the Colts, AJ. I'm going to leave you on that Detroit Lions island all by yourself.
Yeah.
So I'm glad for punishment, but I learned from my punishment. So
see, I don't. I'm just like, give me more. Apparently,
but good job, Primo. Still the king of the mountain, man. With 4 streak, man. That's nice picks coming up there.
Good.
All right, buddy. It's time to close the show, Primo. You're going to take us home today.
This is the one and only Mike Hartenbauer. You guys are listening to Sit Down Marks podcast with DB, Primo, and AJ.
I still almost talked.
And it wasn't even your spot.
You see how I stayed quiet, AJ?
Oh, God.
Anyway, so reminder, we are live every Wednesday on the Sit Down Marks YouTube channel, which is what we're on right now. And the audio version drops every Thursday, wherever you get your podcasts. Also, we're on SportsWire Radio every Friday night on the
number 1.
That's right, every Friday evening throughout the week. Don't forget to give us a 5-star review if you love the pod, and tell your friends, tell your mama, tell your dog, tell everybody, tell the whole neighborhood about us. Also, we do have merch. We got all kinds of merch. In fact, if any of you out there want to send us any merch ideas, I would be glad to provide that. Also, I'm always looking for new ideas to come up with the graphic designs. That merch can be found at www.tpublic.com/stores/sit-down-marks. That's www.tpublic.com/stores/SITDOWNMARKS.
It's like you've done that before, man. That was well
Yeah.
done.
It's been a long time since I did the merch thing. Yeah.
That was professional. Yeah, we're switching it up. AJ, there's no soundbite after this. You can go when I say, AJ, what's the preview of next week. All right, ready? Here we go. AJ, what's the preview of next? Give us a preview of next week.
Ding, ding, ding. This is Dakota Kai, and I said listen to Sit Down Marks because they're real good to listen to. Ding, ding, ding. Next week, we bring you all the details from this weekend's Dreamwave show and then talk about our show, parentheses, Iron Spirit Pro, close parentheses, at the Sweet Corn Circus in Normal, Illinois, coming up next Saturday, August 27th at 1 p.m. As usual, we will chat it up about all the happenings wrestling. Next week as well, we will roll on in my favorite IC title picks with a very popular IC title match and one of DP's favorites as well, Razor Ramon versus Shawn Michaels at Mania number 10. It's an all-time classic. Lastly, tune in to see who will be teaching us how to cut a promo as Promo School returns. Be safe, read books, watch wrestling. Squash is on sale.
I think it's also oyster season.
See you all next week. Thanks for hanging out.
Oh my God, that one got you. I saw that one from Zeke, by the way.
3 for $4.
Yeah.
Down at all.
Oh, that's great. I stole that from Zeke. He puts it on Facebook all the time. It pops me every time. So, all right. You got any last notes, boys? I want to talk about Brian the Butcher battle. He nearly killed Saito last week in the UFC. Our boy, man, it just, he knocked him out in 40-something seconds. Impressive.
He kicked that man's head straight off his shoulders.
Oh my God.
You sent us like a Snapchat of it, and it was almost over by the time the Snapchat ended.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus Christ.
40-something seconds. The man did work, man, and looking forward to watching him fight again towards the end of the year. Primo, I know you talked about this earlier, man. You still been watching those A&E biography shows?
Absolutely. I've watched every single one.
And what was it?
So
DX.
The most recent one was DX.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
They talked about obviously the formation of DX, how Sean's. They talked about the Click. They talked about Sean's substance abuse problems. They talked about China a lot, which leads me to believe, by the way, they talked about China a lot, which leads me to believe, I know I said that twice on purpose, that Hall of Fame. But anyway, because before they wouldn't mention it.
Yeah.
Right.
But anyway, back to the biography. It was really good. Road Dogg, fucking Sean Waltman talks about trying to kill himself.
Jesus.
Like he says he literally hung himself and was in a coma for 3 days.
So it's a happy episode.
Billy Gunn, it is a happy episode because they all talk about their downfalls and how they all came back.
Okay.
So yeah, it's really good. I really like it. They also had the show going on too, which comes on immediately after, called Rivals. I haven't watched that one this week yet.
Is that like feuds?
Yeah. So they've had Rock and Austin, Kane versus Undertaker, a few of them.
Tito versus Martel.
Like all these, if you haven't seen them yet, go back and watch them. There was a season 1. This is season 2. This season so far, they've done Undertaker, Goldberg, Bella Twins, which surprisingly was pretty informative. And this one I think is it with the this Sunday they're doing Edge.
Oh yeah, nice. That'll be a good one. Nice. All right, so me and AJ are heading down to Dreamwave Wrestling this Saturday. If you're in the area, come check us out. We're excited for it, man. Can't wait to be a part of that. If you guys got anything else, man, keep spreading the good word of wrestling. Thank you guys for downloading and subscribing and listening to us. We really, really do appreciate it. We got some things on the horizon here coming up. We really can't wait to bring it to you. AJ, man, it's that time of the day, sir. Take us home, Daddy.
Funny noise thing. something.
I was saying boo worms.
Old school.
Bring it back.
I was like, that was going to pop, AJ.
Oh my God, I love it so much.
Absolutely.
Top guys out.